And we're on the telephone with Couy Griffin. Couy, I've got a video here that you sent me. Well, why don't you explain exactly what it is that we're about to view?
It's just a door cam security video, Anthony, and it shows what I was told by the Otero County Sheriff's Department from the words directly from the mouth of Dalton Sewell, who was one of the prosecuting officers and one that testified during my trial. The video, it speaks for itself, I believe.
He was talking about yesterday about how you guys were there.
So you told you today about something that happened yesterday.
Yeah, what did he say? What did he say about what happened?
Basically, just that somehow you guys got into an argument, and then he kept asking you to leave. He wanted me to ultimately charge you for trespassing because he asked you to leave and you didn't. I think
Was that yesterday?
maybe it's in court recently.
And I told him I was getting some tools.
Right. Right. Yeah. So he showed me all that, but I don't feel comfortable. I would not even try and pursue the trespass because I know that you guys are there for work. I know that you own the place, and I think any jury would agree that you guys had a right to be there. Even though he gets mad, he can't just magically be like, okay, you guys are done, and then you bounce. So I disagree with his effort in trying to do this right there. However, it does boil down to he, unfortunately, does have some rights to the property, not being a tenant. So you got to evict him, and you guys got to stay away from it for a little bit, and from the property.
Yeah.
Okay. So he did request both of you. I know you own it, but
Now at this point, can we go get them vehicles?
So this is a very yes. And if you like, I can go with you, just keep the peace, whatever. But as far as you being, I guess, a landlord, again, I'm doing this because I know there's no real agreement.
Landlord.
Right. But that's the way the state's going to look at it right now. If you, let's say you need to go over there, some type of emergency, you want to do a walkthrough, something, send him a text. Leave him a voicemail and say, hey, tomorrow at this time, this is what I'm going to come and do. That is still your right as a landlord, okay? But you have to give him that notice.
All right,
Okay.
Couy, we just saw the video, and is there anything you want to tell us about this video that may give us more context?
As I stated from the first, I didn't feel like I was ever warned by the Otero County Sheriff's Department that I was going to suffer the consequences that I did. And one thing to say about the video as well is that Officer Sewell was wrong in his very start of his position where he started to call this guy, the squatter, a tenant. There's a big difference, Anthony, between a tenant and somebody that's an occupant or a squatter. As I went through the trial, that's the only way the courts referred to this guy, was that he was an occupant. And an occupant never holds any legal right to the property. And so I wish that, maybe somebody could rein Dalton in and, maybe educate him as far as the law goes. I just pray that this doesn't ever happen to anybody else. Whenever you have somebody that just squats on a property and all of a sudden, they can manipulate the sheriff and the sheriff's department into pressing charges and throwing me in jail. It was just a disgrace from the start. I just wanted the video to be heard by people so they could come to the conclusion themselves, and maybe have a little more rounded view of what really went on.
Did your attorney use this video in the court case?
No, see, and my attorney had this video, but the problem with my attorney is he's a public defender, and most of the time public defenders are being paid by and on the side of the state. That's what I felt like I had through this. If my attorney would have really been fighting for me, then this video would have been the first thing the judge should have seen was this video. And I never should have been to gone through trial. But, I can relate to many that get persecuted and annihilated by our judicial system nowadays, it happened to me, but how many other people does it happen to? How many other people that are being prosecuted by the state get the same type of treatment that I got? Whenever you have a officer that takes the stand that doesn't tell the truth. Dalton never said that he told me that all I had to do was just give him a text, to shoot him a text, and I could go over there the next day. He never did divulge that, but I'm sure Sean Jett and David Black and Matt Mirabal and all of them saw the off the cameras, the body cameras should have. I'm still pretty bitter over all of this, you know, and people can try to come down on me and say, oh, cool, he's just crying around and he's just mad. Well, yeah, you know, I spent 3 days in solitary confinement out at Otero County Detention Center. So people need to slow down on their judgment whenever they see that I'm mad. I mean, how many people have been thrown in conditions like that over a misdemeanor trespass charge on property that I paid for with my own money? So it still leaves a sore spot, Anthony.